Ladies and gentlemen, the Madness Entertainment Group presents Put the Comic Artist Hour with Les Garner.
Oh yeah,
we back. Sorry I wasn't around last week, folks, but sometimes life gets in the way of things. So, but we back. We here. We doing the thing.
It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
And I'm just doing a little doodling on something. I'll let Pops do a talking about for a minute.
Oh,
if you want to, unless you got something else you want to get into real quick.
Well, I got something else I'm going to cover, but we're gonna talk about this too. Oh man, come back. Cool. Come back here. Yeah. This is.
I will divulge right off the rip that the idea for this piece of artwork was Pops's idea. So, and as soon as he said it was actually when he said to me this idea, I was like, crap, I have to do this. As soon as he said it, I was like, yep, I got to do it.
And I kind of knew that was going to happen. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I dangled the bait knowing you were going to take it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah, I on this, I was probably pretty damn predictable.
Yeah. And what this is, everybody, this is the back cover for the Ozzy Art tribute book. And I couldn't think of anybody that I knew that would do this piece better than Les, because I know how deeply Les feels the heavy metal life and society and the loss. So he was the guy I went to. I said, this is what I want. This would be awesome if I had this for a back cover, knowing that I was pretty sure Les was going to say yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this was one of those. I'm like, yeah. The only hard part is just being as busy as I am these days is just, being like, okay, I have to make time to do this, which obviously you see me drawing on it right now. So I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So that means I'm so busy that most things get pushed right up to the wire.
I think for you though, this right here, the Ozzy piece, you kind of wanted to do this one on the stream last week.
I did. Well, I had
yeah, and it was like, so I was okay with waiting. I wasn't like, hey man, I need that piece right now. It's like we know where it's going in the book, or on the book, I should say. It wasn't like it was a page we were waiting for formatting. So I was cool with it, having you come out here and do this one live today. I didn't have an issue.
I gotta look over here, and I just had my coffee was just brought to me, and I'm fighting with. I use a French press for my coffee. And my French press is acting funny, and I'm doing my damnedest not to screw it up. And damn, it's getting about time for me to buy a new French press again.
Yeah, don't screw it up.
Let's see here now. There we go. Sometimes French press gets unaligned and you got to fight with it a little bit, but I got it. Coffee's good. Coffee's in hand, and I'm going to turn and get back to drawing on this.
Yeah, I already had my coffee today. I already had it. No,
I went and had a little celebration coffee earlier, stepped away because, that'll be another thing that we talk about here in a minute, was the reason that I was celebrating.
I already had my wake. I'm working on my bake now. You know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
So,
buddy. So, just so I can share something else real quick that I'm super excited about, and folks who follow me on socials have probably already seen it being posted about. and our regulars who follow the show and follow me will know, they'll be familiar with the work I'm talking about. But a couple years ago, right after I nearly died, the first book that I did after I had my stroke,
wasn't this what you were working on in the emergency room?
Yes, I was literally working on this in the emergency room. Was a book called Homestead with Dirk Manning. Well, that book is now a finalist for a Best Graphic Novel Ringo Award.
And that's awesome and deserves it, because Dirk's amazing. You're amazing. It's a great pairing for you're going to get amazing work. You know what I mean?
I like it. It would be awesome if it were anything, but the fact that it's this book that I was literally working on as I could feel the entire left side of my body drifting away is like, man, like the night they put me in the hospital, I was on the phone with Dirk. I called him and he answered. So a lot of times he doesn't answer first call, but this time he answered. I think he kind of could feel something in the air. And as soon as he answered, I was like, "Hey man, I got to let you know something." Like, and I don't want you to get too, I don't want you to be too worried or too freaked out. And he's like, "What's going on, man?" I was like, "Well, I was like, before I tell you what's up, just understand Homestead still moves forward and I'm still working on it." And he's like, "Okay, what's going on?" I was like, "Well, I'm in the hospital right now." And he's like, "Oh shit, what happened?" I was like, "Well, I was like," and before I said anything else, I was like, no, don't freak out, because I am still working on it. I'm literally, my iPad's open right now and I'm doing page layouts right now as I'm talking to you. He's like, "Okay, what's going on? Are you okay?" I was like, "Well, I just had a double stroke." And he's like, "What? Are you nuts?" He's like, "You don't have to keep working." I was like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely, I do. I said,
yeah.
I was like, "This book will be done." And I told him, I was like, and this was probably about 8 hours after I had been admitted to the hospital. And at that point, when I went into the hospital, I still had, I was still able to walk, and I still had a little bit of use of my left arm. But by the time I called Dirk, my left arm and left leg were completely offline. And
it felt so weird, dude.
The messed up part, it didn't hurt.
No, and that's what I mean. It just must have felt so weird not to be able to manipulate your fucking digits.
It was frustrating. It just made me mad. I'm looking at my own body going, "Why are you not doing what I'm telling you to do? Get with the damn program."
Yeah.
And Dirk, he's like, and he almost got mad at me. He was like, "Dude," he's like, "take care of your health." He's like, and I told him, I was like, "Working on this book is taking care of my health." I was like, "This book is important. It's important to me. I know it's important to you. And there's a lot of reasons I won't get into here." And I said, I was like, getting this book done is something that gives me motivation to work through.
Yeah, not quit. Don't give
this
up.
ordeal that I'm going through.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." He's like, just understand, we're not going to be, nobody's going to be mad if you have to pause for a little bit. And I was like, "Yeah, I know you guys are cool, but I want you to know that, I'm in it to win it. And this will be a thing." And that was 2.5 years ago. I had that conversation. So
we got Chris in the chat, and he's going through kind of the same thing right now. Okay, he's a little bit hurt. Can't work, but wants to work. Has to work. You know what I mean? He's that same kind of guy, right? And he says he feels better when he's writing. He gets lost in it. The world don't matter. The pain don't matter. He's getting it done.
Yep.
He also said he got his copy of Brides.
Sweet. Awesome. Good deal. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm sure.
I know that we've been. I knew that that the publisher who's handling my fulfillment and everything. I knew that they got the stuff back, and a lot of things were moving. For those who don't know, I have a 3D print shop. That's the next room over in my studio is my 3D print shop, and so starting literally as soon as I get off this stream today, I'll be printing the statuary from Brides.
Nice.
That will get shipped out to those who receive statues. A couple of them have already gone out. A couple folks already have them, and those were people who are in somewhere between here and Knoxville, because
in the area, so you could drop them off.
Yeah, so we could actually just drop them off, which is nice. But that's going on, dude. I've got so much stuff going on right now. I'm going to be doing a signing back in Knoxville next weekend at Nirvana Comics, and oh my God, we've got so many things coming up to announce. How many? Let's see, I got to think right now. I'm scheduled for books across, I think, over the next year. Like I'm literally booked over a year out. So, I mean, I think I've got 3, maybe 4. I'm losing track. I've got 3, maybe 4 different one-shot horror comics that people have that I've been contracted to do. I've got 4 more issues to do. 4 is it 4 issues or 5? I've got 4 more issues to do on the Nightmare Before Emerald, the Oz book that I'm doing. Good Lord.
Chris wants to know, what do you print with? Resin, injection? Which?
Resin. Yeah. So I've got a bunch of really nice SLA resin printers, and like I it's like with resin, I really like how FDM printers, you can do multicolor now, but right. FDM printers still leave those little lines, and my resin printers don't really leave those kind of lines. Like, I mean, if you get in really close, you can see the lines in a resin print, but it's not the same. It's way, way nicer. So, and I think I showed this a couple of weeks ago too. We also have the first prototype on a toy for the Bride series, a toy of Eva, the main character. We had a prototype of that in its blister on card. We also had a prototype of the Tin Man from the Oz series for a toy. We got a bunch of stuff coming up with that that we can't really talk about yet, but we're discussing some things with some pretty serious players in the toy business about some of my series getting made into toys. So, and as things become available to share, as all the legalese is written off on, then you guys will be hearing about stuff here. So
you know it.
Oh God, man, it's craziness.
He said as long as you use that tough flex resin, it's just as good as the injection for sure.
Oh yeah.
Now Chris, like you said, he got your book Brides, but I got something from him today.
Okay.
And I don't know what it is. And Chris, you never had to shut up, bro. This is the whole look. Come on. We appreciate the chat. Feel free to join in the conversation. It's right there on the banner, bro. But I wanna hijack your show for a minute and open this because he's laid up right now, and since we got his attention, I want to go ahead and pop this open so he can see my response. He might say he wanted to see my response. So we're here to raise a little hell. Yeah. I see Nem in the chat. What's up, Nem? Nem in the AM, people. over there on Pilled. If you don't know, now you know. Let's see. We got a big blade in hand. We're looking for something to cut. Something to cut. Yeah. Okay, we found some stuff to cut. Oh, yep. Okay, here we go. As the box opens, I see bubble wrap. I know what it is now, though, Chris. I do know what it is. This is a Calcaterra special right here.
Nice.
What? Ow, man. See, my arm is so messed up from the other day that I can't even open this thing with my right arm. My right arm is jacked right now. Okay, let's see what we did here. We open it without killing it. So far, so good. Okay, you're gonna have to take a look at this, Les.
All right, give me just a second here. Let's see what you got going on.
This is a Lori Calcaterra recovering of Slaughterville the Slasher.
Nice. That's a game book, right?
This is the actual novel. Right? But she
yeah.
She gave it a new cover, little, cute little bookmark thingy that's got a little axe on it, right?
I was unaware that that's all based off of a novel. I would love to read that.
Actually, Chris's stuff is graphic novel, two graphic novels, 2 novels, like a dozen RPG modules, and a tabletop with dozen scenarios that you can play through.
Well, Chris, you should get with me off stream, and I'd love to talk to you a little bit.
I see collaboration. Look, he just said, "I'm tied up for the year, motherfucker, but call me."
So like I am the biggest workaholic you'll ever see.
Oh, this is beautiful.
That's Lori pretty, man. I like that.
Job. She did a really good job, man.
I would like to have a copy of that. That's nice.
Well, see, Lori will get like a dozen of somebody's books and then make these really custom covers, right?
I need to talk to her then, because
she's killing. She kills it.
Straight up. I want to have her do. I want to have her do a couple for me, because
that is awesome.
Like, especially once we get through the next volumes of Brides, and we end up, because Brides is going to have 3 issues, basically three issues in the first story, and then when it's done, those will all get combined together into the big thick graphic novel of all that. And I would love to have her touch on that stuff like that. That'd be great.
This is badass. Very nice.
That's
Lori,
freaking cool, man.
She didn't know we were opening this. She's probably working, doesn't even know. But there you go, people.
Yeah, I dig the hell out of that. That's really sweet.
There you go. The cute little axe charm that comes in bookmark, right? Come on, man. Good stuff. Chris, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, man. I see Raul popped into the chat right there. What was he saying? Something about a birthday? Is that what he said? Something about a birthday. Is that a birthday gift? Well, it could be. My birthday is like only 13 days away or something, so we could call it that. Yeah. Did I notice the cutout in the axe blade? What? Oh. Okay, I got a close up on this. Are you ready?
Let's see this. Cute. That's funny. That's funny stuff.
That's
man.
Dante's copy right there, baby. That is awesome. Look, now I got to find something to put this in so it don't get messed up. I'm going to need a book cover for that thing so it don't get messed up. Very nice, Chris. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Let's get back to him on the big screen, though, because he's doing the thing, not me.
So if for those who are familiar with Ozzy's catalog of work, this piece of artwork is inspired. There was an idea that Pops had, and then I kind of paired it off with another idea because they go together so well. Pops had said to me, he's like, what if we had on the back cover Ozzy walking away, and we have a quote on there that says, I guess that we'll meet in the end.
Yeah, which Goodbye to Romance.
Yeah, which is a line from Goodbye to Romance, which is like my all-time favorite guitar solo ever recorded, ever, period, from anybody ever, period.
See, is the solo from Goodbye to Romance. You know, yeah. I didn't know that, but that's also what we named. That's also what we named the book. Goodbye.
Literally, for the last 40 years of my life, every time I went to look at a new guitar in a shop, the first thing I would play, I would sit down, I'd plug it up, get the tone and stuff set, and then I would immediately break into the solo from Goodbye to Romance. That is my favorite guitar solo ever recorded. It's not the hardest to play, but it's just perfect.
So that made it even easier for you to say yes, huh?
Oh yeah, and then you know, the thing of him walking away, I was like, oh, you know, it's like one of my other favorite Ozzy songs is "The Road to Nowhere."
Right.
So you know, it's like it just fits. It just fits so damn well. So right now I'm working up the underdrawing to this that'll get turned into a painting, you know, which is what I'm thinking. Now I'm actually tempted to do a pen and ink version of it, but I'm gonna leave that call up to you, Pops. What do you think, man? Because I've got one painting already for this.
Yeah, do you want to show them that one? You want to show that one real quick?
Let me see if I've got that handy somewhere. If I can find it without having to dig too much for it.
When I went to Les, I knew I was getting a front cover, a back cover, or both. Okay, I knew who I was going to and what I was asking for, but I didn't like rule out the fact that somebody else might do something that fits a cover better. But as far as the back cover, when I said this to him, I said, man, it's like, you know, just Ozzy walking away, you know, I guess that we'll meet in the end. And he said to me, I mean, we're talking in text right now, but he goes, goddamn, Pops, that was my first time I cracked a tear. And it was like, since Ozzy had died, he hadn't cracked that tear yet, but when I said that and asked him to do that, he told me he did. You know, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So there's the portrait that I did.
Is that beautiful or what, guys?
Which the original of that is right here.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think I can biggen you. I think only you can biggen you.
yeah. It's on my.
It's all right though. The painting is what we're talking about. It's beautiful, bro.
Oh, I'm really, really happy with it. And let me kill that. So yeah, this other one, it's, you know, it's a little different kind of piece, but it's gonna be sweet. Like I cannot wait to get this one done.
Yep. And no, Raul, that's not John Wick. That's not John Wick. No.
No, it's right now. This is in a rough stage, man. And then as it progresses, it'll tighten up. And you know, in the end, you know, I tend to be pretty good with likenesses. I mean, I've actually made my living before doing portraiture of people. So I, you know, a lot of this, actually the underdrawing for this is going to be super rough. Just because it's when I do paintings, I tend to, it depends on the techniques I'm going to use. I don't always do very tight underdrawings for paintings. And when I'm doing inked, when I'm doing my comic book pages, I rarely do tight pencils for that.
We just got raided over on Pilled from our friend Neo. I love you, Neo. She just sent a bunch of people over here to check this out. Guys, this is the back cover that that Les is drawing right now. It's the back cover for the art tribute book to Ozzy. We get to watch it come to life, guys. We get to watch it happen.
Right now, this is a very rough drawing for this, but it's getting the layout and stuff done, and then once I get the drawing done, I'll transfer it from from being digital. I'll transfer it off. I use some really nice printers here in the shop for transferring things onto illustration board, and then I'll transfer it to an illustration board, and that's when the real magic happens. Is then I'll be breaking out the airbrushes and stuff, which I think I've shown some of that stuff on here before. Be breaking out the airbrushes, and this is going to be airbrush and watercolor. It's most of what I do these days is watercolor and airbrush. So, this is.
Thank you for the shades over there. Check that out. We love you guys, man. Neo, you and your people, y'all rock, man. It's good to see you guys. Dude, that's cool. We got a bunch of people watching over there now, man. So
cool.
Awesome. Do the thing. That's beautiful. And look, I've been watching Les do this for a while now. Actually, this is episode number 69 on top of everything else.
Oh, God. 69, dude. Shit. Oh, God.
So we're giving you some Ozzy tribute art, some freaking Slaughterville. We got a little bit of everything coming at you today. This is awesome.
Well, I'm real happy about it, man.
And
69 episodes.
Ozzy painting is awesome, man. Raul likes that. Raul, also an artist, does the late night art attack over here on the Madness. You guys got to check that out too.
Oh man, this is one of those things. Sometimes I'm doing these particular types of strokes. Ha ha ha, strokes. Anyway, my arm gets going. Not my left one though. That
yeah,
got going 2 years ago.
That's the other thing. Some of you people over on Pilled, you may not know. Les had a stroke year or two, a little over 2 years ago, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And lost his complete left side, and still draws like nobody's business, man. It's like it never slowed him down a bit. Is that Toonces, Neo? The talking cat, really? Toonces? The thing I love about Pilled, man, is they got them stickers that you can put in the chat. And she just popped one up with old Toonces from Saturday Night Live. Good stuff. But yeah, guys, Les Garner. You can check him out on Facebook. And where else are you at? You're all over the place.
I show up on Instagram, though I don't post. Most of the stuff about me on Instagram is posted by other people, which is kind of weird.
No, that's really cool. That means people like your stuff.
I'm mostly on Facebook because I use Messenger for so much business speak.
Yeah.
I mean, Messenger works really well for me for talking to people in business stuff.
You can actually call them and you don't have to type. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the funny things. People don't think about, the limitations you run into when you lose the use of a hand, but it's really hard for me to use a smartphone, a text and things like that on it now, because maybe it's just because I'm a Luddite and old. But before I lost my left hand, I had to, I would hold it in my left hand and I would take a finger and I would, do the thing. And of course, I'm looking over here. I need to just mount my camera to the top of the microphone so that my eye line's going there when I'm talking. But now it's like, well, I can hold it, but my thumb doesn't go over there and do that stuff. And my fingers are big. I have big hands. And so, nobody makes a phone that works well for me to text on. Most of the time, if you get a text from me, I actually wrote it on an iPad. So it's really kind of funny.
I've been there while you're doing talks to text before. I've actually messed up your talks to text before.
Oh yeah, it's freaking hilarious because my system, I immediately after the stroke, I altered my system and did some customizations to where I could do most of my commands to the computer, things that I want to happen, and texting and typing and things like that I can do by voice. But here's what's funny. This is so funny. I'll be sitting here writing a message to someone, and I'm doing it in my voice, which means my microphone is on.
Mm-hmm.
My wife will pop in that door and she'll come in already mid-sentence.
Yeah.
And it picks her voice up. So then whatever I was writing. So if I'm sitting here, because I also write, most of the books that I'm working on, I actually write. And so I write a lot of scripts. So I'll be sitting here in the middle of writing a damn script, and it'll be like, page 6, panel 2, character walks across. Hey, honey, what do you want to have for dinner tonight?
Character walks across the dinner plate. Yep, I know.
I'm just like, or my dog will knock the door open, and Heisenberg will come walking in. One of my dogs, Heisenberg, will come walking in because he can open the door, and then and I'll be in the middle of saying something to type, and then in the middle of the sentence from her, you'll hear, "Damn, Heisenberg." So it's just like, it's funny. I mean, I always tell her, I'm like, anybody that comes out here needs to knock before they come in. It's like I actually should just like rig up a little red light that I put outside the door with a line running across the ceiling to a switch, so that every time I'm doing something like that, I can just hit that like an on-air light back when I was in radio.
Yep. I get you. I think I'm going to have one of my granddaughters make me a book cover for that Slaughterville book. Yeah, I might have to do that.
Cool.
I'm worried about these little stickers, this sticker stuff like peeling off.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't want to mess with it because I don't know if it's how good it's on there, or if it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like some kind of a vinyl or whatever. I definitely don't want to mess with it, but I want to make sure it doesn't come off.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to figure out a way to protect this book.
Well, that gets my underdrawing down for this, which, it's such a simple subject and a simple composition that it'll end up having, most of the real pop for this will happen once the colors start going down. So, but I'm looking forward to getting this done. I think, I'll probably have it done here in a day or two. So,
yeah, well, like I said, we know where this is going. It's not like we have to figure out a place in the book for it. So, this one's solid.
So I may end up doing another piece or two along the way, just depending on time constraints and all that. Because it is, I'm very tempted to go and just and do a couple of paintings that are literally from photos that I remember having posters of on my wall as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to do two more. I kind of want to do one of Ozzy with Randy and then one of Ozzy with Zach, because Randy and Zach are such profound pieces of my life, both of them. And I actually,
let me tell you what, Les, if you want to do those two pieces, I will give you the time.
I would like that, man. That would be great. Because I still have a whole big album of photos from the time that my son and I got to hang out with Zach, and Zach was literally wrestling in the floor with my 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's
and like you can't get better than that. So, and then it was funny because then Zach had a bunch of photos taken of me with his bass player JD, because JD is basically JD is an Italian garden gnome from New Jersey. and I'm about the same size as Zach. Zach's a big dude.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because, the guy who plays the biggest instrument in the front of the stage is the smallest little guy in the band.
Yeah.
Zach
JD is cool as hell, man.
JD is. I haven't talked to JD in years, but he and I talked for a little while after that, and then kind of we both are just super busy. But JD was super cool. A good friend of mine who I used to play music with up in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey tri-state area. Used to play guitar for JD in one of his bands he had up there.
I remember when they came to Phoenix, they played the Roxy, and I worked with Rob Flanick at Z-Rock, and we got to go to the show with all the trimmings, the backstage pass, all that. But that wasn't even what was funny. What was funny was afterwards, out in the bus behind the bar at 4:00 in the morning, and it's like me and Rob and Zach and JD, couple of the road crew, and I spent more time talking to JD than anybody in the room on the bus.
JD's a hoot, man.
We were talking about Geddy Lee. We were talking about Leslie. We were talking about all kinds of cool people, man. It was awesome.
It was it was like 2008, 2009, something like that, when my son and I got to hang with Zach. And then it was a few years later that he was doing the Zach Sabbath thing, and he came back through, and the place that he was playing at, they had screwed up on the contract, on the riders on his contract, and didn't have the security they were supposed to. And so he's got, because he always gets off the stage and walks through the crowd while he's playing.
All the way to the bar, jumps up on the bar.
and because of that, they keep riders in their contracts for the kind of security that's supposed to be there to follow him around and that stuff. And they had screwed up that night and didn't have that covered properly. And so this one, like the security, the head of Zach's personal security, and this is funny because this guy was actually kind of pissed because he had tried to get Zach to back out of the show because they didn't have security. But that's the guy's job. He's a security guy. He's like, yeah, we can't, the security's not right. And Zach's like, it's like, don't care. We're doing it anyway. Figure it out. And figure it out, son. And this guy comes out and he was like, all right. He looks around, and this was before the first band went on, looks around the crowd, and for some reason he just I caught his eye. And he points and he's like, hey, you. And I look over at this guy who's wearing security stuff, and I was like, what'd I do? I ain't doing shit. And he's like, come here. And I come walking over, and he looks at me and goes, he's like,
yeah, you'll do.
He's like, you ever worked security before? I was like, yeah, I've done security for a number of different things. And he's like, what's your experience? And I told him a little bit, and then told him that, I was like, yeah, and I teach martial arts. He's like, perfect. You're hired. I was like, what did I just get hired for? He's like, it fills me in on the mistake. And he's like, we need 2 to 3 guys to be there to follow and circle up around Zach when he comes off the stage during the show. Yeah. And I was like, I was like, hell yeah. He's like, we'll make sure you get some guitar picks or something. He's like, this was a mistake. We just need people to cover it. I was like, dude, no problem.
Dude,
so that show, when Zach came off that stage, I was waiting, and me and these two other dudes are there with our arms out, to keep people from just getting up in his business.
Make sure he's got room to play that thing, because he's jamming the whole time he's walking.
And so Zach is doing like a 15-minute long solo to something with the headstock of that guitar right under my chin.
I can tell you the song he did that on when he was at the Roxy. He did that on Towing the Line, because when I saw him, it was the middle to late 90s. It was the Pride and Glory tour.
Oh, okay. Pride and Glory is good stuff. This was a Zach Sabbath show, and so it was all Sabbath tunes they were playing. Right. And I believe this was during War Pigs.
Makes sense.
And it was great, man. It was just like
did that myself.
One of the coolest nights ever, man. I mean, because I'm there, and I've hung out with him before, and it was just, yeah, man. This is awesome. This is one of those things I'm going to talk about the rest of my life. So, me
too. It's like I've seen him a few times. The time I went with my friend Becky Ford was probably the funniest, because you know how they always get the women's bathroom line is forever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but Becky has to pee, and it's between artists, whoever opened. I can't remember who opened, but I'm standing there with her. She's in the line, and we're just bullshitting. And somebody walks by, and she goes, "Woo, that dude smells like a French whorehouse." Guess who turned around? Look, as Zach turns around and he goes, "Yeah, well, you'd rather smell me now like this than after about 20 minutes up there." And he pointed at the stage, right? And she just turned red with embarrassment. She just called fucking Zach Wild a French whore.
Shit. Surprised he didn't come like traipsing back over to you guys or something, because he's funny like that.
He just stopped and turned around. He wasn't but 5 feet away. I mean,
he's legit one of the funniest dudes in music. I mean, it's always fun to me what the whole Black Label thing kind of means, because I tell people about it sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it's like the heavy metal Grateful Dead. I mean, there's a whole culture around just that. And it relates to comics. Like, one of my favorite modern day comic book artists, and has been for a long time, is Greg Capullo.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, Greg Capullo is a massive Black Label fan. So when he was doing a signing, I took this book that he did with Martin Miller called Reborn. Not many people talk about that book, but it's a great book. Story is awesome. His work in it's beautiful. So when I had the opportunity to go meet him and get that signed, I made sure I wore a very specific Black Label T-shirt that was given to me by Zach, and it was one of those things, like they've always got some special stuff that's just for people who, that Zach does that. He does a lot of that. And there's this one shirt. It's like the most beloved piece of clothing I own. That was a special, like, kind of insider Black Label shirt. And a lot of Black Label people recognize those, and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And so I wore that, and like clockwork, I get up there, and there's Greg sitting there with a baseball cap on that says BLS and a T-shirt that says BLS. And he asked me, he's like, "So you want me to put anything in this book?" And he looks at my shirt and he's like, "Fuck yeah," he's like, "Black Label represent, man." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, just sign your name and then put a SDMF. Yep. And he busted out laughing. And the couple of people, like his handler and his manager, sitting there with him, they're like, What's that all about? What's that all about?" He's like, "Y'all wouldn't get it." And it was just one of those little things, it's like, I don't know if he's ever had to do that again, but that's one of those little things. It's just like the Black Label people, we know each other. So yeah, doing. I got to do 2 more pieces. I got to do one of Ozzy with Zach, and then of course so my Randy Rhoads story is much shorter and much sadder. But Randy Rhoads died on my birthday.
Oh, that sucks. That's not a birthday present.
Yep. Hey, you want to know what's messed up, right? My birthday was the day Randy Rhoads died. My son's birthday is the day Dimebag died. My daughter's birthday is the day that Jimi Hendrix died.
Man, y'all need to cut that shit out.
So, and well, my daughter's birthday is the day Jimi Hendrix died, and it's shared also with my father. Same day. So, just weird. There's like weird little stuff like that,
Yeah, all through my life, same way. Same way. I can remember my first Black Label show, and I didn't know any of the lore. And I was only there because I saw that dude play with Pride and Glory, and he fucking rocked. And I don't care who he's playing with. I'm going to go see that dude, right? So BLS comes to town. I don't know nothing about the lore and shit. And I'm at the back of the crowd, and I'm working my way up, me and my buddy Mark, because we're going to get all the way up there where the guitar picks are, because every time I seen Zach, I got a guitar pick. I'm going to go get me another one, because he's good about tossing them, man. He tosses them at you. He doesn't just fling it. You see somebody, and he throws it at you, right? And I got me a few from Zach. But we're tripping through the crowd, man, and this big dude, he's like, y'all got that feeling, don't you? And I'm like, what? You got that SDMF feeling, don't you? I'm like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? He's like, you trying to get to the front, huh? And you're using strength, determination, you're merciless, and you're going to do it forever. And I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? And then, later on, I find out, that this is a thing. Strength, determination, merciless forever.
When I was in the hospital from the stroke, I was in the hospital 6 weeks, and there were times when I didn't give a shit. My iPad was my lifeline, and I would have the song. There's a song called SDMF, and I would have that thing blaring and just be sitting there psyching myself up. Like you maybe about a half an hour before a big therapy session was going, and I'd just be like, yeah, SDMF bitches, SDMF, we're going to go hard on this. Therapy session is going to be baller. I'm going to push him to let it go for another hour afterwards. We're going to do this shit. And it's just like, that chorus comes up, when heads roll, the more the better. Strength, determination, merciless forever. I'm like, yes.
The song. Holy shit.
Sometimes when I got my earbuds and I'm in the gym lifting, I will put that song on repeat. I mean, it's just like, it's like.
See, my songs from my fire up song is Towing the Line. Mama, don't you worry none. We just towing the line. We're gonna get this done.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's always been my fire up song. It doesn't matter what we're going to play golf or what. It's like, don't worry, we got this. We're gonna get this done. And it's always been my that would be my walkout tune if I was a WWE. Right?
Oh yeah. Mine would definitely be SDMF. Absolutely. SDMF, man. That is just like I can't hear that song and not feel like I'm about to whip an ass.
You see, and that for me is like my work ethic is tied to get to towing the line. Okay, my work ethic is tied to that. That's everything I fucking get behind is tied to the motivation I get from that song. It's been for a long time now. that Pride and Glory album is a pretty fucking old now, guys. So I've been riding that same SDMF now for a long time, and I didn't even get the SDMF from SDMF. I got it from Pride and Glory.
Man, Pride and Glory. When Pride and Glory came out, I was 19 years old, and it was the summer when I had just moved to New Milford, Connecticut, which is a short hop from New Jersey and a short hop from NYC. And I was working construction during the day, working on my artwork at night, jamming with some guys, a couple days a week, playing some stuff, but mostly working construction at day and doing art at night. And then going into New York from Friday to Sunday to basically try and get gigs as an artist and just make more money. And it was funny because people up there made fun of me a lot because back then my Kentucky accent was way thicker than it is now. And I got made fun of a lot. And it was actually something that made life very hard at first. And then in the midst of all that comes this album called Pride and Glory. Yeah. And the album cover is a photo of a barnyard with an old broken down house in it that looks a lot like stuff from where I grew up, and a pair of cows out in the yard.
Yeah. And
I like when I saw that, I was like, huh, interesting.
See, that's not what I did, because I worked for a heavy metal radio station. A dude walks in and he hands me this CD, right? And he's like, we got to play this one and this one, the A and the C, right? It put them in the rotation because it's radio station. Back then, you play what you were told, right? Okay, so he hands it to me, and it's got these cows and shit on the cover, and I'm like, yo, no, the country station is over in the next room. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea, right? Man, Machine Gun Man, there's so many jam tunes, dude. Bro. And then there's like straight ballad stuff, man. Sweet Jesus. There's so many jams on this. I was lost. I was a Zach fan. I didn't know who Zach was. That day, I was a Zach fan for life.
I had fallen I was 13 when I was 13 when Zach joined Ozzy. And a friend of mine back then, when we shared music with each other, it was over the phone. Somebody'd get something new and they'd be like, oh, this is awesome. They'd call you up and be like, dude, check this out. They put the phone to the speaker.
Yeah.
And dude had, he had gotten, I had this friend who was much older than me then, who had gotten an advance single of Miracle Man. Plays it for me, and I'm just like, what the ever-loving hell is this? And of course, then he tells me, and so the day that came out, I had to have it. I was like, this guy is the second coming of Randy Rhoads as far as I was concerned. And I was hooked. I was like, this is it. And at the time, I had planned on drawing comic books, but my main plan in life was to be a professional guitar player. Which
Cos? You got Cosmac Grandpa and Matt 1776 showing up over on Pill. We got more people. Thank you for the cookie, Cos. Appreciate that, brother.
When I heard that immediately drew me into Zach. That and then of course No More Tears comes out, and it was shortly after No More Tears comes out that I went to New England, and then comes Pride and Glory. So the whole thing about that was like, as a kid from Southeast Kentucky, I grew up with a lot of country music and a lot of chicken picking and stuff like that I didn't really do a lot of when I played in bands and stuff because, that's for this kind of music. And then I hear Zach doing it.
Banjo and shit. Get out of here.
And so here's the thing is like, I grew up kind of embarrassed and ashamed of where I was from. because there's a lot of backwards shit back home. And
Right.
And then here's this guy who had very quickly become my favorite guitar player on the planet. And then I hear all this stuff he does that is using stuff that I grew up learning. And it just floored me because he's from New Jersey, which is, there's New Jersey rednecks, but it's not the same as Appalachia. And I'm just like, this guy from up there appreciates what we have so much that he puts it in this stuff and has taken it to Ozzy. Because he, like, Mama, I'm Coming Home is damn near a country song. When you break down the guitar parts, it's damn near a country song. And it just, all of a sudden, that gave me this sense. I was like, I don't need to be ashamed. I don't need to be embarrassed. We have a lot to offer. And it literally turned my thinking 180 degrees on many, many things in life that were all related to that music. And it just, and then of course, listening to Pride, because Pride and Glory is shot through with it. And I'd have that in my headset.
Leonard Skinner or any kind of Southern rock, and you love heavy metal. That was the marriage made in heaven.
Yeah, and I would have that going through my earphones while I was working construction. And it was like, it's like these jackasses I'm working with. Like, I don't think a guy in construction ever used my name. All I was ever called was Kentucky. Hey, Kentucky, won't you come over here and move some rock? And it, but it was like, it's okay. Y'all talk, you talk. It's all right. And I've got one of my heroes there, which is, because Zach's about, I think, 6 years older than me. So it's funny, that somebody that close to my age would be one of my heroes, but he got what he got. And I'm listening to that stuff, and it got me through. It got me through some really hard stuff and helped just galvanize me to do what I would do. And it's still there, it still gets me through to this day. It's one of those crazy things, man.
It's funny. I got 2 grandkids, right? Two grandsons. And one of them's favorite song is In This River. And the other one's favorite song is Fired Up.
Oh my God. my kids used to run around singing Fire It Up all the time. It's funny.
He gets that wow, 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 wow.
Oh, man.
He just fires right up when that shit starts.
One of the things I miss from so long ago is I used to perform the acoustic version of Stillborn.
Right.
And
another amazing tune.
My daughter used to hang out with me, and I'd start playing Stillborn, and she'd sing it with me, and it was just, that was some good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm definitely doing a piece of Ozzy with Zach, and then a piece of Ozzy with Randy, because Randy, I was a little kid playing guitar, and discovered Ozzy because of a family member had some 8-track tapes of different stuff, Sabbath and all that. And he had one of Blizzard of Oz. And so, Blizzard of Oz was just, it's like, what is this? This is amazing. And the thing that got me wasn't even the heavy stuff, which I love the heavy stuff, but it was D. It was Randy Rhoads playing D. And
what people don't get is, like, I look at all these heavy metal guys, and it's the ones that show me they can do something else. Those are the ones that I love. The ones that got a decent ballad here or there. The ones that can step outside that's just crashing everything, right? And doing something that's melodic and lovely, man. And yeah, those are the guys I gravitate to.
So 2 years ago, after because my stroke happened in February, like, these past 2 years have been the first 2 years of my life since I was maybe 10 that I did not perform my birthday ritual. I have had a birthday ritual my entire life where on my birthday, at some point, I disappear. Nobody will know where the hell I'm at. But it'll be me with a guitar, oftentimes somewhere in the woods. And I will just sit for an hour or two playing D over and over. Because that song was, that piece of music was a major component of what. So if I rewind, when I was 12 years old, I taught classical guitar at Kentucky Christian College.
Nice.
And the reason that I got into classical music were two things. One was my dad introduced me to NPR because he thought I would like the music. And two was Randy Rhoads. And when I was 12 years old, I gave a recital at that college to 1,100 people. And part of that recital was me playing D from Randy Rhoads. And that is like, it kills me. I'm choking up thinking about it. Like these past 2 years, first 2 years since I was probably, I think 9 or 10 when I figured it out. I learned how to play that. Bought sheet music for it. And it's the first 2 years since then that has not been played on my birthday because he died on my birthday. And it's like, you know, people ask me sometimes, you know, it's like, how do you do it? How do you keep your motivation? And I'm like, you don't understand. You don't understand what I've lost, how important it is, what it means to me. And definitely do not ever underestimate my determination.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Look, I've been working at this network thing for a long time, right? A couple years now, trying to get this thing up, get it up on Roku. Well, guess what? Guess what, buddy? This show right here is going to be the first comic artist out.
Nice.
It gets put up on Roku because
Nice.
we are in the position now where it's time to get 1 week of programming up, get our full schedule up, send it to Roku for approval. That's all we got left, guys.
Nice.
Uploading and approval. That's all we got left. So yeah, pending approval, this will be the first comic artist hour that gets uploaded to the Roku now.
That's really sweet, man. I'm very happy about that. Thank you. I'm hoping that well, for everybody who watches and follows along with this, if you're a comic book professional of some sort, that means you can vote in the Ringo Awards. Okay. And that, as I started off today talking about my book Homestead that I'm co-creator on with writer Dirk Manning, who everybody loves, is a finalist. We're one of the 5 finalists for Best Graphic Novel in the Ringos this year.
Ringo.
And it would mean so much to me if you guys would go and vote and help us bring that thing home. Because I know there's, you know, it's like, I'm not big on awards and accolades. Most of the time I think they're bullshit. But there is a certain amount of, there's some validation that comes from it. And, you know, it helps lift, you know, my brand, my whatever you call it. And, you know, it would help lift this show, helps lift, I mean, everything that's associated, and all you folks that hang out and talk and come along with us, you know, it's like you guys are along for the ride. It's not just me. It's like you guys who have been supportive and attached to everything. You know, this is us. This is all of us. So I appreciate the help.
It's madness. That's what it's all about, man. I'm jacked about all the things that we got going on. Now look, you say I'm gonna do 2 more pieces. I don't want you missing deadlines over this.
Nah,
okay.
It'll be all good, man. It'll be all good. But I'm
As
I
much
mean,
as
that's
I love doing this, and as much as I want to get it out as fast as possible, at the same time, I don't never want to step on somebody's workload.
oh, it's all right, man. Yeah, I won't commit to something I can't pull off. So, but on that note, man, it is past the. I'm in Central Time, so it's past the 1 o'clock hour for me, and I need to be getting on because, as we were saying, deadlines and all that, which I've got a frightening amount of them. I've got so much work I have to get done. But
that kind of was a gentle reminder, actually.
It's been a good day today. So, folks who, thank y'all, for hanging out and following along. And like I said, if you're a comic book professional of some form, go vote in the Ringos. And we'll see y'all next week. Pops, you want to take us out?
I'm going to do one more. I got to show this one more time because a couple people just came in that haven't seen this. Kaz, it's Laurie's recovering of Slaughterville, the slasher. And look, it has a little tiny axe on the bookmark and a pot leaf in that blade. Isn't that sweet? It's awesome. That's Laurie Calcaterra and Chris Brown. People, look, Les is some of the best talent in here, but there's talent everywhere. Just hang out. We'll keep bringing it to you. No doubt. All right,
Joe. We'll see you next week.
Ads, I think we can play a couple ads. We'll start with this one. Peace, everybody. The Meg.TV, bro, because that's where it's at, yo.
That's where it's at, yo.